Okay, so I think we're going to go get started. So hi everyone, thank you all for coming to the WEG info session today. My name is Leona and I'm a sophomore in the college studying economics and sustainable management. I am the co-president of WEG this semester, and in terms of the energy industry, I am most interested in renewables, nuclear energy, and energy storage technology. Um, so I wanted to thank you all for coming today. While the name suggests that we are an energy-focused group, WEG is a place for students with any background who want to learn more about this industry at the intersection of business, science, and policy. And now I'm going to pass it on to Frank, who's going to talk more about the different people on our board.
Right. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank, and I'm one of the co-presidents of the WEG, as well as the VP of Corporate Relations. Tonight, you're going to be hearing from the people you see on screen, myself, Shivani, Angela, and Trishla. We all lead different committees that you'll be able to apply for, and you'll be able to get a sense of what our committees do and what you can learn from us and from our committees. In addition, you'll also be able to meet some of our other board members tonight, including Tommy, Gracie, Jaspreet, and Yateen. And Gracie and Jaspreet will introduce themselves now.
Hey guys, my name is Jaspreet and I'm from New Jersey. I'm studying accounting and finance in the Wharton School, and I'm interested in renewables.
Hi, I'm Gracie. I'm the VP of Marketing. I'm from Houston, Texas. So I'm interested in oil and gas and renewables and just the intersection of business and energy. I'm studying PPE and consumer psychology.
Okay, so now you will get to meet the rest of the board members as we move through the presentation. But now we're going to talk about the different ways you can get involved in WEG. And starting off with being a general body member. Anyone can be a general body member by signing up for our email list and attending our events. Next slide. And so being a general member, you'll have the opportunity to attend our Energy 101 workshops and also partake in our MBA mentorship program, which was created between our club and our sister club at the graduate school. And you'll also have access to content produced by our academics committee and the industrials team. And you will also be able to attend many of our industry focused events, which are named on this slide.
So the academics committee is our largest committee here at WEG. Our main objective is to inform students through published materials about prominent trends and interesting topics occurring in the energy industry. We really emphasize the diversity of issues that our committee members explore. These topics can range from business, policy, economics, science, technology, and really any combination of those. On the top right here, we have one of Trishla's research experiences. Determining a way to reduce the temperature needed to split water in order to make green hydrogen. And on the bottom is a graphic from an article I wrote in my first semester with WEG about electric school buses acting as mobile energy storage systems. So as you can see, we're very receptive to whatever perspectives you have on the energy industry. Absolutely any level of experience is accepted and enthusiasm is always welcomed.
So we have some major plans for this semester and really excited for you guys to join. First is that we want to diversify the different content that we create. First, we want to be able to create articles, but we also want to be able to create podcasts and videos, be able to diversify the different things that we put out for other people to hear, read, and learn about energy, because it's really important for everyone to understand energy and how it's applied to climate change and sustainability and how the different sectors are, applied to business and policy. And we also want to collaborate with a variety of groups to be able to get our content out there. So we're thinking about collaborating with the Kleinman Center for Energy Policy, different professors on campus who are involved with energy, and also maybe Philly environmental corporations as well as organizations. So we have a few interview tips. for the academics committee. We hope that you guys can essentially discuss complex topics to a lay audience, as this is important for creating research articles, potentially pitch some energy topics that are of interest to you, and teach us something. A successful candidate would be skilled in communicating effectively, concisely, and clearly. And since this committee requires strict deadlines, we look for candidates who are diligent, have good time management skills, and are committed to the community's success.
Hey, everybody. So I just want to introduce you all to the Corporate Relations Committee, which is the side that really deals with creating meaningful connections with sponsors and other corporate organizations, as well as being able to create relationships with alumni. So what you'll be able to do in this committee is develop strong sales and interpersonal skills, which are essential to making meaningful connections as well as closing sales. You'll also be able to make a lot of different connections. We've been able to meet startup CEOs, higher ups in multiple Fortune 500 firms, and we've been able to do a lot of really interesting things in this committee. You'll also get a chance to develop the alumni and corporate database as well. Sorry. So now our major plans for this semester will be working with industry professionals. So you're going to be researching and reaching out to more people to develop our database and grow our sponsorship and partnership base. You'll also keep our current sponsors and partners in the loop on new initiatives and projects we have, and try to keep yourself updated on the newest projects they have so we can keep building interesting events with the events committee. You'll also be, and that ties into the second point, where you'll be working with the events and academics committees to create events ranging from alumni interview panels, which will allow students to get a really good idea of what careers look like, as well as how to apply and how to do well in interviews, to tech demos where companies can talk about some of their newest technologies and what the newest innovations in the energy industry are. Also, you'll be able to find opportunities for students where you'll be able to work with sponsors, partners, and alumni to find ways students can get a chance to actually get in-industry experience, be that maybe working for a bank in the energy sector, or if it might be doing a small part on an engineering project. Now, in regards to the interview tips, who are we looking for corporate relations and why we think you'd be a good fit if you have these skills? Well, in corporate relations, being able to communicate is key. It is the quintessential skill of this committee. So when you come in, I want you to be able to give your personal pitch strategies on how you can win over sponsors and partners to our cause. So also how to respond to hypothetical scenarios. Let's say a corporation says no. How do you get that to a yes? And if it's still a no, how do you change that position so that way you can show them that we want the yes no matter what? And also, how do you organize projects? So how would you go about reaching out to someone? How would you go about creating a timeline, a pipeline for that? Since this committee also requires continual follow-ups, intercommunication between committees and sponsors, as well as a lot of getting no's, clear communication, organization, and resiliency are key.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Shivani and I'm a junior in the college studying economics and minoring in sustainability and environmental management. In terms of the energy industry, I'm most interested in EVs, renewables, and supply chain efficiency. So I'm really excited to get working on the events committee this semester. And to give you some context about what events does, in the past we've done visits to wind farms and oil rigs, as well as speaker panels and other more informationally oriented events on campus. To me, events are really the face of WUEG. It's how students meet each other and the real world, so to speak, and events are a great learning experience for everyone involved. So our major plans for this semester, since we're all online, events are going to have to look a little different than they normally are. So we're going to work to make sure that this transition is as seamless as possible. Something new I want to introduce is a Student Spotlight series. As Liana said, WUEG is a very multidisciplinary club. We approach energy from all sides, whether it's business, technology, policy, you name it. And Penn students are doing some really cool work in all of these fields. So this would be a way to show off the amazing contributions that all of our students are making to the energy sector. And as a bonus, it'll help us feel a little more connected as a campus community, even though many of us are actually not on campus. Lastly, our events seek to promote a wide range of perspectives. The energy industry hasn't been the most diverse historically, but that's changing, and there's a place for you at WUEG regardless of your background. We have students from all walks of life, and not to mention we have students from engineering, the college, and Wharton. On that note, we're going to be holding a Women in Energy panel in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. So if all this sounds interesting to you, then please come and apply for events committee. There's up on the slide are some guiding questions that can help you prepare for the interview. And basically, I'm just looking for people with organizational skills, a can-do attitude, and a genuine interest in and ideas about some awesome events for the semester. Honestly, the main important things are just passion and commitment. And if that sounds like you, I'm really looking forward to reading applications and speaking with you.
I'm Tommy. I'm a junior in the engineering school studying computer science, and I'm the VP of Industrials. So we create academic materials for the club to help educate all our members so that everybody's at the same point, no matter your background on energy when you're coming into the club. So in the past, we've created presentations, including these on energy storage and some of the more basics on oil and gas. And we've also created written materials about the financial performance of different energy stocks. Um, and so there's a lot to help teach our members, and this is a great way to do so. Although there's no open applications for this committee, you're more than welcome if you're on another committee to help us out anytime you want. So yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Yatin. I'm a senior doing a dual degree between chemical engineering and finance. I'm interested in optimizing renewable energy production, and in the past I've worked on data analytics projects on this topic. So I'm the VP of recruitment, and I'll be telling you about membership. So at WEG, we conduct many like events which are intercommittee, and this is just to ensure that that at WEG it's a very tight knit community which works together. So it is really important that we know each other. So in order to ensure that we conduct many social events, uh, like informal get-togethers as well as some formal events like MBA mentorship program. So as Liana said, we have a sister club at the graduate school. So the MBA mentorship program is a great opportunity for us to network with MBAs and actually get their help to actually work in the energy industry later on.
Right. So now if you're interested in joining the WEG, we have a lot of different ways you can get involved and just learn more about us aside from this these slides that will be sent out after this presentation. So you can follow us on our social media. You can find us on facebook.com/Wharton Energy Group, as well as our Instagram is @Wharton Energy. And if you're interested in joining our listserv or Slack, our listserv is, you can find our website, whartonenergygroup.com. And you can just sign up. There will be a little box where you can put in your email and hit sign up. And if you're interested in joining our listserv, feel free to take a picture of the slide and then use the QR code on there to join the Slack. And Liana will now just talk a little bit about some of the ideas you should get for applications.
Yeah, so in terms of applying for one of the committees, applications are actually now open and are accessible through the Wharton centralized application system, and are due on September 20th by midnight. Additionally, one thing to look forward to, as Shivani mentioned, is our Women in Energy event, which will be a panel of women talking about their various experiences professionally in the energy industry. It will be happening within the next couple of months, and so we highly suggest you keep your eye out for that. And so now we'll just leave the space open for questions. Feel free to chat or unmute yourself. Any questions about like the application process, like what opportunities are available at WEG specific to like committees or general body membership, anything is fair game. So yeah.
Additionally, if you guys want us to jump back to a certain slide, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
You can also feel free to put it in the chat box as well if you'd like.
So are all committees accepting applications right now, or just a few?
So at the moment, what we usually do is students will apply for either the, sorry, I'm just going to jump to the slide, our academics, corporate relations, or events committee. And then through those committees, you can usually get involved with the committees that don't necessarily have large teams. So for example, you might jump into academics, and then maybe you have more of an interest in building the educational materials. And you can work with Tommy on building like the podcast or more sort of media education materials as opposed to articles. And then, we've had people jump between committees as well. Shivani actually was originally in academics and jumped to corporate relations for a while before she became the VP of events. So there's a lot of opportunity to not only try a lot of different things, but also grow in the roles you take on.
You can also apply for multiple committees. Right now, we're planning on only having like a person in like one committee, but you can still apply for as many as you want. And although like given constraints with the centralized application system, you will only be able to write about your first choice committee, but keep in mind that like during the interview process, we will be like talking to you about all three committees or all the committees you apply for.
I have a question. I was wondering if guys could go back to the slide that detailed like the expectations of someone who wanted to apply to the academics committee. Thank you.
Interview tips, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question. For the academic committee, is there any training that we end up going through before writing our papers? Is there a specific form we're supposed to write our papers?
So
yeah.
I think Angela and Trishkala can speak a little bit more on that.
Yeah, so for the articles, it's a standard like think of a New York Times article, kind of more just like as an interest piece. It doesn't have to be super scholarly writing, which is what we actually kind of discourage because we want it to be readable and like easily digestible. And I think that's a core concept also in our committee, to be able to take in information about the energy industry that you'd like to communicate, and write an article that like clearly and cohesively explains that concept. It's a very broad amount of like writing styles that would fit this criteria, I think, but definitely not extensive amount of training. I'm sure like whatever writing that you get from like a writing seminar would be adequate.
I'd also like to add, if you have an article and you feel that it could be further expanded upon or maybe made more interesting through a media format, you can work with industrials on that, try to get a video created to help you explain the topic further, or maybe kind of put it in a more dynamic format.
That's good. Thank you so much.
Glad to. Any other questions? I'm going to give it another couple seconds. So if you guys think of something, just let me know. Also, are there any in the chat box?
Also, in terms of like, I guess, training for the committees, there's nothing like, I mean, it depends on like committee, like who's leading your committee and like how they want to go about it. But I would say that like there will be like once you join a committee, there will be people who have been on the committee for like a semester or a year at least. And I know that like the WEG community is always like open for advice in terms of like strategy and effectively like adjusting to your new role in the club. So I definitely don't feel like intimidated and sort of feeling like any background is like a good background for this club, and this community will like help you learn and also like do your role well. So
furthermore, I just want to add on to that. We're working on creating a lot more education initiatives so students can learn more about energy, finance, just the general industry itself, and a lot of other things. So our Energy 101 session is a great way for you to get an introductory knowledge to a lot of different industries. And we're also working on trying to get more interviews set up so that way you can learn from people who are in the industry. And we're also working on possibly creating a financial modeling seminar so that way you can have some more tangible skills to bring into an interview. And any
And
more
sorry, you
sorry.
mentioned that there was an interview after the application. How does that process work? Are you guys able to explain that, or is it confidential? I don't know.
Well, okay. So essentially, you can apply as either a general member or to apply to a certain committee. I'm just going to jump back to the slide. So a general body member, all you have to do is fill out the basic application. But then if you're interested in academics, corporate relations, or events, you will have to fill out an additional form for that. And then you'll usually be interviewed for those committees.
Yeah, so general body membership, as Frank said, is access through like being part of our listserv and being like an active member in our events. And the application, like the interview process will be like committee specific. So like the way Angela and Frank and Shivani and Trishla talked about like the different types of like interview questions, I think it will be pretty like even though you might be like interviewing for a specific committee, they might just also ask you like general like interest questions. But it won't be like casing or anything like that.
Yeah, we're more so trying to get a sense of who you are. So for example, academics is looking more so how well you can communicate information. I'm looking for how well you can get someone, persuade someone. And events is looking at how well and how organized you are and how well you're able to be able to share information in an easy to understand way. Any more questions?
All right, so I think if you have any questions, feel free to just email the WEG email and one of us will get back to you. And also like, I definitely recommend if you're like have questions about like a specific committee, maybe try and contact like some of the different VPs of that specific committee. But yeah, we like really hope you all apply and thank you all for coming today. But feel free to ask questions on like any of our social media platforms or email. And yeah, we hope to see you in our next GBM.